Last time I checked in with you guys, I went over my exact training and nutrition protocol for my current mass gain phase. Today, we're on day 17 of mass gain, and I'm gonna go over exactly what's happened so far. The points we're gonna go over are average weight increase, food intake, training performance, and how you can take these exact strategies and apply them to your own training. So first, let's start with body weight. On day 1 of the mass gain phase, I weighed in exactly at 190 pounds on the dot. Now I get this all the time from people online and in person. I'm not 210, I'm not 215, I'm not 220. My average weight, it's about 190 to 195 pounds for most of the year. But anyway, back to the point, 190 pounds on the dot. Day 17, I weighed in at 191.4 pounds. Now, there were high days where I weighed in at around 193 pounds, and there were days when I weighed in a bit less. But if we take the average weight over the last 2.5 weeks, that puts me right around 191.5 pounds. So that's roughly 1.5 pounds gained over the last 17 days. Now, that doesn't sound like much at all, and it's not, but if we keep up this exact pace, that puts me right around 20 pounds to be gaining over the next 6 months, which again, this goal is something I've dedicated the rest of 2022 to be accomplished. So far, I'm right on track. Now, the question is, how did I get here so far? The last video that I did a full day of eating, I was eating roughly at maintenance at 2,700 calories. Today, my diet is up to 3,450 calories. And that's definitely not where it'll stay for the duration of this bulk. By the end of this mass gain phase, I anticipate they'll be as high as 4,000 to 4,500 calories daily. But slow and steady continuous weight gain over time will ensure that the quality of weight I do gain is high. Because anybody can just eat a bunch of junk food and gain 20 pounds in even a few weeks. But that's obviously not what we're going for. Now, food choices have all been the same, just higher quantities of food. Today, so far, I had 3 meals. First meal of the day was my pre-workout meal, which included 50 grams of protein from whey isolate and 50 grams of carbohydrates from carb powder. This is my pre-workout meal. I train at 6 a.m., so this is just enough food to get through an intense training session. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, post-workout, I'll have my highest carb meal of the day. That consisted of 4 whole eggs, 12 ounces of white potato, a bagel, and to finish that off, 6 ounces of Greek yogurt and a serving of blueberries. And that meal is roughly 1,000 calories, with 65 grams of protein, 24 grams of fat, and 150 grams of carbs. Later in the day, for my third meal, I had 8 ounces of steak, an 8 ounce of white potato, and 4 ounces of pasta. That meal totaled in at 62 grams of protein, 19 grams of fat, and 78 grams of carbohydrates. And that's all I had so far today, but I'll generally have 2 more meals totaling in at 5 total meals per day. All this to hit my total macronutrient intake of 275 grams of protein, 450 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. Now, the question is, how does this increase in calories and macronutrients impact my training? When focusing on gaining mass, you have to understand that it's not just about eating more. It's not just about training harder or lifting heavier. It's about progressive training and progressive eating. If you want to take your body weight to a new level, you'll need to increase the stimulus in the gym to do so. But you can only recover, come back stronger, and support this increase in training if your food increases as well. That means that you should see a direct relationship between performance and food intake. Otherwise, something's off. As you push more food, you want to see your body weight increase, but also, as a result, you want to see your performance increase. This is one of the most fundamental steps in bodybuilding that most people overlook. If we're trying to build a bigger chest and we want to go from a 225-pound bench to a 315-pound bench, we want to progressively increase food as we progressively add weight to the bar. This is how you take a 150, 160, or 170-pound guy and transform him into a 200-pound bodybuilder. So now, how can you apply this to your goals? If you're looking to gain mass, figure out which body parts you want to gain the most. If you're lacking general size, then the answer is all of them. Next, find out which movements you need to focus on the most. The basic heavy compound exercises will always be key here. Now, set up a plan to progressively increase those lifts over time. That means more weight on the bar, more sets, more reps, more volume. Progression is progression. Next, support that increase in training performance, body weight, and size by increasing your nutrition. And I don't care if you're natural or not. If your food is not increasing, you won't see the same progress in the gym, and ultimately, your progression will stall. Now repeat this process weekly, monthly, and even yearly if needed. If you're a competitive bodybuilder, you'll obviously have periods of time where you will need to diet down. And do so accordingly. But if your main goal is focused on purely gaining mass, don't get distracted and think that you need to hit single-digit body fat while you're still trying to gain muscle. Muscle growth takes time. Be patient, train hard, train progressive, and eat progressive. And if you're looking for the exact sets, reps, exercises, and workout program that I recommend, you can check out my 5-day mass gain program in the description below. And as always, if you guys want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.